Cameras are right.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. May I ask that you please switch off mobile phones for the duration of the ceremony? Could I please also ask that you refrain from standing in the aisles during the ceremony, as we need to keep these areas clear for health and safety purposes. Please stand and welcome our official party.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Dr. Michael Lancaro, and I am your Master of Ceremonies this afternoon. In the case of an emergency, I feel like I'm about to board an aircraft this morning. In the case of an emergency, please take note of your closest emergency exit and follow all directions given by VU staff. I ask you all to join in singing the first verse of the Australian national anthem. Graduates and guests, welcome to this graduation ceremony of CQUniversity Australia. At CQUniversity, our graduation ceremonies are all about the celebration of your achievements. And accordingly, we we would love you to cheer out loud as your friend or family member crosses the stage to celebrate with them. I would like to begin by recognising the traditional owners of this land on which we are holding today's ceremony. There are elders past and present, and the Indigenous people, the original Australians, and of all members of the University, to all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples here today. You will notice that the University Mace is located in the centre of the stage. You might be asking, what is the purpose of the mace? The mace is important because it is actually the symbol of the authority of the Council of the University and signifies the University's responsibility to work for the sustenance of our present world and to ensure that future generations are not disadvantaged. I now invite the Chancellor, Mr. John Abbott, to deliver the address of welcome.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to this magnificent venue. I've not been here before, so it's fantastic. And pay my respects to the elders past and present, but also to the emerging leaders of the future. The University has a great commitment to the Indigenous population, and we look forward to helping develop those emerging leaders to take them forward into the future. To the graduates, 194 of them here today. Congratulations, you've made it. It's done. You're rite of passage for the future. That's what you've achieved today. All the hard work, the commitment, the sacrifices that you have made are represented by what you have received today. And in particular, I'd like to pass my welcome and my thanks to the parents, the friends, the supporters of the graduates today. Because without your help, without your support, be it moral or financial, many of those would not have achieved the recognition today. In particular, I'd like to make recognition of the 4 higher degree higher degree students we're having today, 4 PhDs. As you'll understand, the role of the university the Central Queensland University of Australia is across all sectors of education, from trades through to vocational, to undergraduates, but also to higher degrees. Research is a very important part of what we do, and the graduates today, congratulations. It's an important function of the university to build a global pool of knowledge, and I congratulate those who are graduating today. To the staff, the university has a motto of moving from a strong to a truly great university. And whilst we need very great students, we also need great staff. And I'd like to acknowledge many of the staff who are with us today and many who are not. In particular, I'd like to recognise the appointment of the new Associate Vice-Chancellor for the new Philip Sarang. Philip, all right. Welcome. The university exists in a community, and in Sydney, obviously, it's the New South Wales and Sydney community. And we're doing a lot to develop and to grow and to deliver what that community wants. And in particular, I'd like to pay recognition to the local engagement committee, who will help us determine what we need to do, how we can serve that community, and how we can grow. The sort of things that are happening in 2017, for example, is the new podiatry and chiropractic clinic, and additional allied health training facilities in our Sydney campus. I'm told that will strain our facilities somewhat, but that's a nice problem to have. We're also looking at introducing in 2017 executive education and open learning programs to be launched in Sydney. One of the doctrines at the university is Doctrina Perpetua. which is continuous learning. You're getting a qualification to be able to get a degree or something more. However, when you look at industry, and you look at the communities, education is continuing. One degree or one qualification may not necessarily see you through to the future. So this, as I said, is your rite of passage to the future. And when you choose to come back and do further studies, we'd certainly like to see you back. Congratulations on your achievements today, and I look forward to seeing you again. Welcome, everybody.
Thank you, Chancellor. I now invite the Vice-Chancellor and President, Professor Hilary Winchester, to deliver the opening address.
Thank you, and thank you to the Chancellor for his welcome. I'd like to add my really sincere congratulations to all of you who are here today, 194. But I'm only going to talk for a couple of minutes, don't worry. I just want to talk about something that has really struck me over the last few days, and that's about leadership. And I've seen a lot of leadership in action just in the last few days and weeks. So we hear a lot in the press and in the media about our political leaders and the US leaders and their achievements and their hopes and aspirations. But a lot of that, I'm not doing a party political broadcast either, a lot of that comes down to issues of style and presentation over substance. But turning to our student body, yesterday I was on the Brisbane campus. I was actually told quite a number of the graduates here today have studied in Brisbane. Is that the case? Is that of you? Yes. Okay. Come to the wonderful windy city of Sydney. But I was on the Brisbane campus yesterday, and there was a group of students, and they're part of the campus life committee. They had a pop-up African lunch, and they had organised this lunch. People could give a gold coin donation, so students got a cheap lunch, which is always popular. And the money raised went to CQUniversity Cares to support our students in need, and to Are You OK? So I thought there you've got a really practical example of leadership in action, and some of those students will be graduating at the end of this year. A few weeks ago, there was the Corporate Cup, and the Sydney contingent was up in Rockhampton playing cricket. I think I had my photo taken with the cricket team, playing cricket and basketball and the various activities that were going on there. And you could see leadership in action on the sporting field and on the basketball court. So leadership is actually one of our university values. And I was just thinking, all of you, in some way, you have achievements. We might quibble about the Prime Minister's achievements over the last year, but your achievements are undoubted. And you are the leaders of tomorrow. The Chancellor mentioned the leaders of tomorrow in terms of our Indigenous students, but you are the leaders of today, because many of you are actually mature age students and are in those roles and are validating your credentials. So leadership is not just about achievement, gold medals, certificates, or winning elections. It is also the way you go about it. It's about who you include, how you work within the community, and how you give back. It's about the culture you create and the difference you make to people's lives. So congratulations to you, the leaders of tomorrow.
Thank you, Chancellor. Vice-Chancellor. I now invite the Chancellor to introduce the guest speaker.
Vice-Chancellor, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure to introduce our guest speaker for today's graduation ceremony, Mr. Brian Babington. Dr. Brian Babington has worked for stronger communities and families in Australia and internationally for over 3 decades. Since 2005, he's been the Chief Executive Officer of Families Australia, an independent national not-for-profit peak body that advises the Australian government on ways to advance the well-being of families and children, especially the most vulnerable. He is also coordinator of the National Coalition of Child Safety and Wellbeing, which plays a lead role in advancing Australia's first ever plan to reduce child abuse and neglect. Dr. Babington's tertiary awards include a PhD from the Australian National University, a Master of Arts and a Bachelor of Arts with honours from the University of Sydney, a Graduate Diploma of Management from Central Queensland University, and a Graduate Diploma of Community Counselling from the University of Canberra. In a career spanning diplomatic, government, private and community sectors, Brian has represented Australia at 4 United Nations General Assemblies on aid, humanitarian, public health, economic and environmental issues. He has also directed Australia's aid program in Myanmar and held leadership positions in numerous international, national and local community development and allied professional organisations. Brian was awarded with the Sir Winston Churchill Fellowship in 2009 and CQU's Outstanding Alumni Award in 2015. Please join with me in welcoming Brian for welcome.
Chancellor, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to begin by acknowledging also the traditional owners of the land on which we meet, the Gadigal people of the Eora Nation, and also to pay respect to Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander elders, both past and present, as well as to any Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples here today. As you will have heard from the Chancellor, I'm the CEO of Families Australia, so I absolutely love the sound of children's voices. So pump up the volume, it's fine, believe me. Let me also start by offering my heartiest, sincerest congratulations to each and every one of you on your achievement. You've got so much to be proud of today. As a parent who, with my wife Rhonda, here today, have the delight of seeing our 2 sons complete Masters and Bachelor's degrees this year. One of my sons, also here today, about to complete a Commerce degree at the end of the year. And thank God, move toward the land of employment. I know a little bit about the thrill that you as parents, families, educators, behind me, and supporters enjoy today as you take part in this really very, very important ceremony. To all those supporters, I wish to say thank you, most sincerely. I'd like to talk briefly about lifelong learning and illustrate my message with a couple of pretty extraordinary things, at least in my opinion, that have happened to me in the past year. First, and here please do forgive my personal indulgence here, I've got to confess that I turned 60 earlier this year. Now, this was a clearly outrageous turn of events, and I don't expect to repeat that mistake anytime soon, I can tell you. I should have, on my birthday, of course, been celebrating by blowing out candles on a cake with my wonderful family at home in Canberra. But, sadly, but very provocatively for me, I was doing something different on the other side of the planet. I was at Harvard University undertaking a very gruelling leadership program on what it takes to lead in the 21st century: courage, chaos, and conflict. One of the things that I noticed while I was strolling to one of the classes one day in February this year was some words written in very large, very bold letters on one of the lecture room walls outside the Harvard Law School. And it wasn't graffiti, I hasten to say, but it might well have been because of the tremendous impact that it had on me, which stood to me in contrast and contradistinction to the apparent privilege and elitism of a university like Harvard. And it read as follows: never work just for money or for power. They won't save your soul, or build a decent family, or help you to sleep at night. Those are the words of one of America's most influential children's rights advocates, Marion Wright Edelman. Edelman was born in 1939 and she studied law at Yale University. She then went on to be the first African-American woman to be admitted to the Mississippi Bar. And more than 40 years ago, she founded, and today she continues to be the leader of the Children's Defence Fund in Washington, D.C., which works to end childhood poverty, abuse and neglect. As an advocate for children's rights and community development, I truly admire people like Edelman who stand against inequality and the exercise of power that so often brings with it repression, vulnerability and marginalisation among society's least powerful. The other thing to highlight about Edelman's life is how, when her father was dying, when she was aged just 14, his last words to her were, "Don't let anything get in the way of your education." My other memorable Harvard experience this year was something to do with dancing. Now, my wife will tell you that I'm a shocking dancer, and it is true. And it's not really in that context that I talk about dancing. In 2002, Harvard Business School professors Heifetz and Linsky wrote an extraordinary book called Leadership on the Line. I commend it to you. And they argue that one of the greatest traps for leaders is to keep doing things in traditional business as usual ways, long after these so-called technical approaches have proven to be ineffective. Instead of old ways of thinking and doing, they say that leaders need to adopt transformative, adaptive responses. To illustrate that point in my professional world, the standard technical response to child welfare problems has been, often, to remove children from their family settings. And this very often leads to poor outcomes, both for children and families. We keep failing many children and families largely because we don't envision new ways of working, let alone taking collective action to bring about truly transformative change. So, my question is, how can we avoid these leadership traps? And here, Heifetz and Linsky help us with what they consider to be their answer. What they say is that we need to get off the dance floor of everyday life and to get ourselves up onto the balcony above to see how the dance is being performed. In other words, we need to stop getting caught up in the world of the everyday, to take time to see the bigger picture and to imagine brand new ways of doing things. For me, this is a skill that's best cultivated by being open to and actively seeking out learning opportunities throughout life. And that takes me to the second significant thing that happened to me this year, gaining a doctorate on children's rights in Indonesia. Children's rights, not just in Indonesia, but in all countries, matters to me greatly. What also matters to me greatly, and is represented by my doctorate, is my deep commitment to lifelong learning and the thrill of seeing that embraced by others. For Edelman, the pro-education words of her father clearly drove her onwards. In my life, my pro-education grandmother inspired me by her love of learning. Though she didn't have very much formal education, she always made a strong point of learning throughout her life. Even up until her last years, she'd write essays on her beloved topic of Australian history. It's hardly news, of course, that we live in an era of extraordinary change. To roughly paraphrase one of my favourite historians, Simon Sharma, there are times when history meanders along gently, and then there are times when history happens with an almighty rush. Now is clearly one of those times of almighty rush. The case for unrelenting, lifelong learning has, in my view, never been more compelling as we face the need to think in new ways, in other words, to take time to get off the dance floor and get onto the balcony. And Hildebrand talks about the 5 key benefits of lifelong learning as being to sharpen our mind, our confidence, our interpersonal skills, our career opportunities, of course, and our ability to communicate. And to me, unless we cultivate the habit of stepping back from our day-to-day world, we can't effectively meet the adaptive, personal, societal and global challenges that we face now more than any other time. So, finally, where do we start and how do we sustain ourselves on that journey? I think we can begin by being open to ongoing learning as both formal and informal, and unexpected as well as expected. As well as saying that old professors never die, they just lose their faculties. I'm sorry. British comedian Stephen Fry said that education is the sum of what students teach each other between seminars and lectures. Now, I think, of course, he's being a bit too tough on educators here, and I do apologise, but I think that really what he's trying to say is that we gain insights in just lots and lots of different ways. And when I look back, I can think of hardly anything more important than the opportunity to study and learn, and then keep doing it over and over again. And I've been very, very fortunate to be able to do this, at least in a formal sense, several times in my career, including through management studies at this university many, many years ago. To me, it's not just about getting a better pay packet and promotion, those things will occur, but to paraphrase Marion Wright Edelman, to challenge us about what truly matters in life and to improve our confidence to meet the new. It's also, I think, to be open to the risk and, in my experience, the near certainty that we will often not meet our goals. On reflection, my best learnings and directional changes have come ultimately through the pain of getting it wrong. Experience shows that we become better for our attempts at the dance by risking failure and taking ourselves off the dance floor from time to time. By being open to new perspectives, we stand a better chance of rejoining the dance, but just that bit wiser and a bit better skilled. Finally, I believe we can find support for this purposeful journey of lifelong learning by relying on and giving back to our families, friends and supporters. After all, and I think about this an awful lot in my personal life and my professional life, families, whatever form they take and however we define them, are our most time-honoured settings for giving and receiving love, understanding and nurturing. Our families, like our other supporters, want the very best for us, and we should reach out for their help when we need it, as well, of course, as reciprocating it. I congratulate you all very sincerely on your achievements, which we honour here today, and wish you all the very best in your future learning. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Babington. Dr. Babington has encouraged us to dance Well, I can't really ask you to go and dance in the aisles, but I can see that there's a few floor walkers already. So this ceremony, of course, has formal parts, and we've got some very significant formal parts still to come. But now we're going to have a musical interlude for some enjoyment, because enjoyment is not only about dancing, but also usually embraces song. Ladies and gentlemen, I have great pleasure to present a musical performance by Miss Jasmine Lancini. Jasmine is a graduate of this university's music theatre program. Jasmine is both a singer, performer and a music teacher in far north Queensland. While studying with us at our Conservatorium of Music, Jasmine directed the educational theatre touring show Choices and performed in musicals such as Chicago and The Sentimental Blood, which is a very famous Australian musical. Graduating last year, Jasmine was the recipient of the Associate Vice-Chancellor's Mackay Campus Medal. Can I ask you to please welcome Jasmine to the stage?
When you look back on times we've had, I hope you smile and know that through the good and through the bad, I was on your side when nobody could hold us down. We claimed the bright star and we came so far, you know they won't forget. Whenever you remember
I now call upon Vice-Chancellor and President, Professor Hilary Winchester, to present the graduates.
Will all graduates please stand? Councillor, as Vice-Chancellor and President, I certify to you and to Council, these graduates standing before you today have fulfilled the requirements prescribed by the University, and I ask that you present them with their respective awards.
Thank you, Vice-Chancellor. In the name of the Council of CQUniversity Australia, and by my authority as Chancellor, I am pleased to present our newest graduates with their awards. Please, everyone, honour them with your applause. As I said, they wouldn't achieve what they were doing without the support of the friends. So graduates, turn around and give applause to your supporters.
Will all graduates please be seated?
It's on.
Chancellor, I call upon Professor Ross Chapman, Director, Postgraduate Studies, School of Business and Law, to present the graduates.
Chancellor, I present to you graduates from undergraduate to postgraduate programs. Associate degree of Engineering, Electrical, Sally Robin Dixon.
Go.
Bachelor of Accounting,
Be a little bit quicker. Go. Yeah, that's it.
Jane Inbal.
Go.
Rima Kaki. Theon Lee. Raja Mispahul Makarabin. Ian Trung Nguyen. Manoj Pandey. Abdul Rahman. Jing Wei Tang. Brandon Tran. Bachelor of Accounting with distinction. Bachelor of Building Design with distinction. Trudy Jane Maloney. Bachelor of Building Surveying and Inspection. Benjamin Thomas Fudge. Bachelor of Business Accounting, Felix Limentara. Bachelor of Business, Human Resources Management and Accounting, Elisha Jill Spillane. Bachelor of Business Management, Yuri Jung. Bachelor of Business Marketing, Amanda Jane Dunn. Morrissey Harvey. Bachelor of Exercise and Sports Sciences with distinction, Rhiannon Emily Lovell. Bachelor of Hospitality Management, Ashok Kumar Awale. Chatika Shivapatari, brackets. Arunra Mitchell. Kamsen Yuang Kunyo. Daniela Quijano Velez. Bachelor of Information Systems, Unique Shrestha. Bachelor of Information Technology, Application Development, Arjuna Virapakam. Bachelor of Information Technology, Business Analysis, Monica Gurung. Nawi Joshua. James Eagle Lago. Milena Milovskaya. Kirk G. Shaw. Bachelor of Information Technology, Network Security, Kamalpreet Kaur. Mandy Awale. Pankaj Chowdhury. Mahari Hassan. Vidhi Raj Prasad. Sujan Shrestha. Jawei Gu. Bachelor of Medical Science, Clinical Investigation, Sarah Elizabeth Goody. Kylie Jane Stubbs. Bachelor of Paramedic Science, Rhiannon Claire Henson. Bachelor of Psychological Science, Maxine Kay. Bachelor of Psychological Science Honours, Elizabeth Ann Whittaker. Belinda Ann McGaw. Graduate Certificate in Asset and Maintenance Management, Quinton David Clintwell. Graduate Certificate in Business Administration, David Scott Ives. Graduate Diploma of Asset and Maintenance Management, Peter Sidhoro. Gift Tom. Graduate Diploma of Management, Sada Hamrit Singh Amin Jung. Graduate Diploma of Professional Accounting, Eric Racine. Graduate Diploma of Rail Operations Management, Carmen Cordell Jonas. Graduate Diploma of Signalling and Telecommunications, Matthew Anthony Nelson. Christopher Gregory Ryan. Henry Martian Spurley. Master of Business Administration, Sonan. May Marie Fabia. Mandy Baral. Masha Chechevi. Durgun Ingbaza. Evo Intiago. Honorary Pop. James Andres Leon Quintero. Master of Business Administration, Financial Management, Lucas Ben Futsi. Master of Business Administration, Financial Management with distinction, Sonam Sharma. International Business, CQUniversity. Anna Louise Stresta. Mayuran Ramachandra Kose. Master of Business Administration, International Business with distinction, Laura Raquel Ansalve Perez. Master of Business Administration, Martin Badia Gurun. Master of Information Systems, Pradeep Padmanabhan. Mohammed Abdul Hakim. Anirudh Patok. Ralph Michael Vitz, Garden Drive. Amarnath Reddy Kondi. Neha Kekar. Mohammed Kamran. Roman Lama. Sandhya Rani Hamlet Jamala. Pam Pai Pham. Swati Kulu. Apurva Shrestha.
Popular.
Santona Shrestha. Shashank Kania. Angela Tapa. Master of Information Systems with distinction, Sarah Hasid. Master of Information Technology, Yopal Singh. Dipesh Acharya.
My mind's just got to go off.
Vira Venkata Ravisram Kara. Chancellor, that concludes the first half of presentations for graduates from undergraduate and postgraduate programs.
Remember, people, that this is not only a time of formality, but it is also a time for us to enjoy ourselves. Song is important in that process, as we've seen. Ladies and and gentlemen, I'm delighted to present to you another and a further musical performance by the wonderful Miss Jasmine Lansing.
And the
continue presentation of grants.
Should have gone to the clapping.
Chancellor, I present to you graduates from postgraduate programs. Master of Information Technology, Abiba Akhtar. Sai Kiran Kasimini. Suraj Bandari. Diksha Bohara. Sai Krishna Sunduru. Naveen Reddy Kaki Reddy. Vishal Kandel. Mayor Shyam Lada. Almira Leon Lazar. Imran Siddiqui Mirza. Abdul Muhammad Siddiqui Muhammad. Venkata Ravi Chandra Rutaya. From Kran Nguyen. Ernest Kata Momi. Rachel Eileen Obosan. Suman Oli. Diane Prasad Pande.
Is that Irish looking at that?
Vanita Poteti. Tuguldo Seochi. Naveen Kumar Shilan. Mina Shankaya Taparani. An Jun Ram. Vinod Kumar Reddy General. Master of Information Technology with distinction, Suraj Verma. Roshan Gimire. Sarita Kurala. Virat Lanachana. Sujan Mahaju. Bilal Wahab Sihib Siddiqui. Master of Management Engineering, Kalyan Acharya. Dashankrit Singh Iman. Dominic Joseph Gomez. Sarah Kadini Gurbari. Manpreet Lubana. Sabahat Ali Muhammad. Romy Babas Pradhan. Muhammad Danish Raza. Sohail Shoket. Ranjit Chan. Master of Management Engineering Distinction, Jitendra Shah. Master of Management Human Resources, Simpon Banyan. Master of Management Marketing, Yan Li. Sunita Onta. Master of Management for Engineers, Yvette Daniela Nino Economico. Andrea Marcella Odones Noriega. Master of Professional Accounting, Irene Joy Gurtin Batar. Shesh Narayan Bandari. Dyanendra Patel. Ayala Grace Santos Pereira. Arun Chauhan. Marcela Chavez Castaneda. Moksane Chombo. Catherine Khalid Chua. Doctoral Chulambata. Nguyen Yu Trang To. Linda Rebecca Dunn. Chong Feng. Tirupati Gajula. Amar Gurung. Sahanza Iqbal. Milad Shafakadem. Hafiza Sana Javed. Shana J. Kumar. Prakash K.C. Niyati Jitendra Kumar Kenya. Kabir Kansa. Kikibut Chamulai. Lingwei Liang. Chiu Liu. Thompson Liu. Sudhir Kumane. Sajid Mande. Angelique Perez. Davud Unjabeir Unikar. Salat Umar Unjaburakal Subaraman. Yu Chao. Yi Chu. Ram Rajbandari. Lady Viviana Rodriguez Gonzalez. Lovely Angela Serrano. Abhishek Sharma. Vinaya Sharma. Kevin Singh Shacham. Naresh Shrestha. Liliana Aman Khalifi Kadi. Muhammad Umar. Xian Zhao.
Where's the number?
Eric Yondon. Jiwan Chang. Xiao Zhang.
Yeah.
Yu Zhang.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Master of Professional Accounting with distinction, Sanjay Kaldon. Chancellor, that concludes the presentation of graduates to the postgraduate program. Chancellor, I call upon Professor Bali Karabal, Deputy Dean Research, to present the doctoral candidates.
Chancellor, I have the honour to present to you the following doctoral graduates. These candidates have undertaken a program of supervised research and study, where the candidate has demonstrated highly specialised knowledge through thesis dissertation. Doctoral programs may be undertaken in many disciplines, and only high calibre graduates who have demonstrated academic merit may obtain entry to this award. Research is an integral part of CQUniversity Australia's purpose. We have a strong commitment to the conduct of cutting-edge research in new areas which challenge the boundaries of the traditional disciplines to provide distinctive research solutions with regional, national and international benefit. Chancellor, I present Hatem El-Zain for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. Hatem's thesis title is The Military Media of the Islamic Resistance, supervised by Dr. Ali Abdulsalam and Professor Dennis Prime. This research analysed the media discourse of the Islamic resistance, the military arm of Lebanese Hezbollah. It explored the signs and codes in this discourse, pointing out its aims and objectives. It provided a theoretical foundation on how to analyse the media discourses of military wings in the Middle East. Dr. Hatem El-Zain. Darrell's thesis title is Re-evaluation of the Existing Change Management Models to Improve the Response of the Building Code of Australia to Environmental Docility. Is supervised by Associate Professor Faye Martin, Professor Hilary Winchester and Professor Peter Smith. This thesis builds and tests an innovative governance pathway for the Australian National Construction Code. It addresses the needs of demographic groups, such as night workers, who require restorative daytime sleep. Proof of concept testing established a new pathways utility for the construction industry and its customers. Dr. Darrell Lewis O'Brien. I present Joshua Enow for the degree of Doctor in Philosophy. Joshua's thesis title is Understanding Progression in the Built Environment through an Interactive, Student-Centered Model of Progression. Supervised by Professor Hilary Winchester, Professor Cole Greenfield, and Professor Peter Smith.
There were 4, I think.
And me.
The girl.
This thesis developed an understanding of study, career and professional progression of students constructing their careers as built environment professionals. It used a series of studies to establish an interactive, student-centered model of progression for the use as a framework to better inform support for students and future research. Dr. Joshua Enow. I present Nityan Sisuan for the degree of Doctor of Professional Studies. Nityan's thesis title is The Potential of Theravada Buddhism to Enhance Cultural Tourism in Pattaya, Thailand. Supervised by Dr. Clive Graham and Dr. Yantarat, or Grace, as we know her, Kanatwa, this research interviewed tourism stakeholders to investigate the potential for the sustainable development of cultural tourism based on Theravada Buddhism in Pattaya, Thailand, and to develop a strategy for promoting it. The research found that developing this kind of tourism is feasible and will have a positive social and economic impact. Dr. Nityan Sisuan. That concludes the presentation of doctoral graduates.
I call upon Mr. Philip Soler, Associate Vice-Chancellor, New South Wales, to present the Associate Vice-Chancellor's medals.
Chancellor, I am pleased to present the recipient of the Associate Vice-Chancellor's Medal. This medal recognises a student who has demonstrated a combination of the following: a strong commitment to their studies, the ability to respond to challenges, a capacity to act as a mentor to other students, a willingness to contribute to the life of the campus, outstanding potential for significant leadership in the future career, clear commitment to the value of cultural diversity and creative talent and enterprise. To receive an Associate Vice-Chancellor's Campus Medal, who today is graduating from Master of Information Technology with distinction, I present the Bharat Lamichan. Councillor, that concludes the presentation of the Associate Vice-Chancellor's campus medal.
I now call upon Ms. Melina Milovskaya to deliver the response by the graduates' representative.
Let's go to two. Go to two.
Good afternoon, everyone. May I start by welcoming all the graduates, their families, friends, faculty and staff members on this wonderful graduation day. It is an incredible honor for me to speak on behalf of all graduates during this ceremony. When I first arrived in Australia, my English was very poor by my standards. Through hard work, effort and support by my lecturers, I have not only improved my English skills, obtained a degree, but proudly stand here today announcing that I have secured my dream job in IT. Rewinding back, I would like to start by sharing the wonderful memories and unforgettable experiences that CQUniversity has given us. For most of us, the university has become a second home. I would like to acknowledge the bravery and resilience that all students, and particularly the international students, have shown by studying and living so far away from their families and home countries. Finishing a degree with the challenges that this brings us is a huge achievement for all international students. Based on personal experience, I would like to say that CQUniversity played a huge role in creating my personality and preparing me for the future. Sydney campus was a place where we passed through difficulties, fun, friendship, and finally became who we are now. I would like to share the incredible moments which I had with my classmates. I particularly recall a wonderful moment after a challenging tutorial about Java programming, when all the class stayed behind and everybody helped and supported each other to understand the task. I also remember how the English Language Centre and Academic Learning Centre helped us to communicate effectively in a second language by checking and correcting our grammar and spelling. I appreciate additionally the support from the Students' Experience team, who have helped us to choose the best program for academic and personal experience. I also need to thank all other administrative and academic staff. The patience and support you have shown us felt like a family and helped guide us to the top. CQUniversity has not only developed professional skills for the future, it has given us an opportunity to develop and discover personal hobbies and skills. The university gave me the unforgettable opportunity of representing Sydney campus as a volleyball captain in Northampton. It also gave me a chance to present my artwork in a CQ art exhibition in Northampton, where I later won the Student Choice Award. The artwork I created represented the diversity of the students that have also followed their study dreams in the form of a tree. Therefore, I see university as a tree that protects us and unifies all of us under one big green roof. Lastly, on behalf of my fellow graduates, I would like to add that CQUniversity enabled us to build wonderful friendships and create unforgettable memories that stay with us for the rest of our lives. Thank you for those who encouraged and inspired us to move forward and stay brave and strong. Finally, on behalf of our graduates, I would like to thank our guest, Speaker Brian Bevington, for his inspiring and encouraging speech, and we would like you to accept a small gift as a token of our appreciation. Happily, we're all here today, which means we passed all our exams and finished the biggest book called University. To complete my speech on this big stage, I would like to wish all the graduates the very best of luck and success in the future. Congratulations to everyone, and thank you, CQUniversity.
Thanks, Melina. I now ask the Chancellor to deliver the charge to the graduates.
Thank you, Melanie, for that speech. Once again, I ask all graduates to please stand.
There you go.
Much of the ceremonies that we today is based on tradition that's developed over many hundreds of years. The regalia we wear, the proceedings we follow. Now, as newly conferred graduates of CQUniversity Australia, it is at this stage of the proceedings that we conduct the turning of the tassel ceremony. This is a long-standing university tradition that officially symbolises your transition from graduand to graduate of CQUniversity Australia. Please now move your tassel from the right-hand side of your board to the left. It's amazing what a difference that makes, isn't it? This is the charge to graduates. I charge you as graduates of CQUniversity Australia to maintain a commitment to lifelong learning, to strive for truth, integrity and compassion, to contribute to your chosen profession, and by the application of your abilities, support and nurture the communities of which you are part. May your rewards bring honour to the university, your chosen profession, and more importantly to yourself. Good luck.
Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes part one. That concludes the ceremony. On behalf of the Chancellor and the staff of the University, I want to thank you all for coming along this afternoon and attending. And along with the Chancellor's challenge with regard to lifelong learning,
No, I haven't sung it yet.
I just want to remind you as well, never lose your passion. And also, keep having fun, because the world's out there waiting for you. We'd like to now invite you to join us for refreshments that are going to be served in the foyer following the ceremony. Can I ask you now, please stand while the official part of the time.
Yep. stand corrected, but I'm pretty sure she didn't say that.